Good morning, everyone. Make sure my mic settings are good. It looks fine. 1 2 1 2. How's everyone? All right. First thing first. Let's get the Zwift going. Okay. Now I should have my workout already in Zwift. Let's have a look. I'm doing. Where are you? There is today, for those who've never done this before, I'm doing a pub quiz basically just to keep myself entertained, running Kahoot. If you've never done Kahoot before, you're very unusual. But you go to kahoot.com, and then when I do the first quiz, you'll see a pin. So you don't have to sign up or anything, you just got to get to the website, put that pin in. It's only 5 questions each time because I know that people come and go, so I don't want to commit people to sitting there for 20 minutes to get through the quiz. I think I got 10 quizzes today, 10 by 5 questions. Now, next thing I got to work out is where is my workout? It is not in here for some reason. Let's go more options. Workout. I pushed it to Zwift, but I might have to do it again. That's my phone. Okay, planned. Let's go to today. Okay, filters. Okay, that one, and then hey Gunner, Katie, I've just got to work out how to send my workout to Zwift. I did it before. I'll try again. Send workout to Zwift. Okay, it should pop up any moment. There we go. Now make sure I do the flattest route. Actually, which ones haven't I done? Downtown Eruption. It's got to be further. It's going to be 2 hours of riding. Might as well get one of the routes that peak performance. That's got a hill in it. Damn it. But that'll do. It's been a while since I've seen Katie in the chat. Katie, you up a bit late, aren't you? I suppose it is Saturday night. I've also got to put the gravel bike. Equip that. Make sure I haven't got my TT bike. Get this off. Get the first quiz underway. Knock that one over first. Oh no, I've got the Evo jersey. Don't look at me. Where's the burrito? Got so many jerseys, it's ridiculous. It really just give me a favourites list. Where'd it go? Oh, I don't know why I'm pedaling. I may as well go do the workout now. Oh, jeez. Okay. There it is. Only identifies Evo 1 day a week. Evo for life. Alright, so let's get to, where's my quiz? The first one's weird science. So, I know Darren was in the chat last week a lot. You probably won't touch it this week, but I've got some sports and also music questions, but the first one's weird science. So we'll wait to see if we can get 3 people in. Problem with using Kahoot is obviously you've got to use a different device. It's hard. Let's go. Oh no, I'm going to the desert flats. At least I got my gravel bike. Right on for you. What's happening, Gunner? Did you actually do that race that the L'Etape, or whatever, how you pronounce it, for the Frenchies? For those don't know what I'm talking about, Gunner posted a picture yesterday, or it might still be for today for you guys, at a bike event. Hey, another ride-on bomb. I really should put the other socks on, shouldn't I? So I give 2 XP to everyone. I think most people are going to be flat on the sofa, to be fair, Gunner. Hopefully you didn't use your mountain bike on the road this time, Gunner. I'm going to keep an eye on the Kahoot as well, just in case people join. I've been chatting for 20 minutes and people will sit there waiting to play. I can't give that guy a ride on, he's gone too fast. Maybe he got a ride on before he went past me. It's funny, you go through phases. At the very beginning of Zwift, you got no idea about ride-ons, then you get crazy with ride-ons because you want everyone to give you as many ride-ons as possible. Then you stop doing it. Well, Katie's in. I'll start the game so you win now, Katie. I can probably play along because even though I put the questions and the answers in, I still don't remember them. It's not like I'm going to give away the answers. It will be around if you're the only person, Katie. I'll give it. Let's see, we've got 4 minutes 44. Going up Titans Grove. James are right on. Right on. I'll keep an eye on it. We'll give everyone 2 or 3 minutes. 3 minutes to jump in, otherwise all the pressure's on you, Katie. Speaking of weird science, I don't know if I'll do it this stream, but I think about making a video because there's a plugin that's been out for a while, but I haven't really looked at it. But you can get us with power, and I'll let you know. I wouldn't say for sure, but the plugin shows on Zwift Power someone's connection, whether they're using a power meter or a trainer, but more importantly, it shows whether they're being a sticky what bastard. It's kind of funny going back to my ZRL days, looking at the riders who I thought were cheating bastards, and some of them weren't. And some of them definitely were. There was one winner of a ZRL. I think he won quite a few ZRLs in my division. He was definitely a cheating bastard. So, if I get time, I'm going to make a video about cheating bastards, showing them, but I won't be able to show their names because whilst I don't think I'll go to court, I also don't want to, just in case there's a really rich Zwifter out there, defamations, lawsuits or something. I'll definitely, it's a video idea, is just to show this plugin. We can start outing all the cheaters. Hey Darren, you're just in time if you want to jump in. I was going to start it at 3 minutes, I forgot. Otherwise Katie's, I'll start it for Katie. You should be going to bed, Darren, that's what you say every time you join. Then you sit around for another 2 hours. Only viewing. Alright Katie, let's kick off the first quiz. Oh, got to get rid of that full size. Okay, here we go, quiz 1. No pressure Katie at all. Let me know if the sound's a bit weird, because when I click on Kahoot, speaking of sound, got to about it. When I click on Kahoot, I think the sound goes on, then when I click off, it goes off. Okay, which metal can melt in your hands on a warm day? Katie got it right. I think you're going to win this, Katie. Just like you said, this wasn't your field, Katie. Smashing it. No one's going to want to join after this. Which scientist is associated with the uncertainty principle? Oh, that was quick. Quick, you got it wrong, Katie. Oh no. Okay, next one. Which colour of visible light has the shortest wavelength? I'd actually guess this one. Yeah, see, I was also tricked by that one too, Katie. I was thinking, it can't be violet if it is. Last one. Which is the name of animals that are active mainly at dusk and dawn? Only the, oh, they are too. Why is that? Why is that? We go back to my other screen. Does it fit in there? No, it doesn't. All right. We'll move on because Katie's won that one. The answer was crepuscular. I don't know that's how you pronounce it. Alright, let me just... Zwift might go weird because I'm just closing at the moment. Actually, I don't need to do that. Let's just mess about with this. There we go. It's the importance of having chat. Katie, you won. Oop, don't want to press that. Okay. After all that faffing about, where are we at? 2 minutes in. I'll send a jersey out to you, Katie, in the post. Send it with the same postman that you got the other free jersey. Speaking of which, I ended up giving up with Matt trying to work out how to create individual vouchers because there was a sale. Didn't make a difference actually. I ended up buying a really expensive jersey and a new base layer. I got one of those jerseys that are cheap because it's an ugly colour, but I figured for the stream it would be alright. It's pretty much the same colour as a Kahoot background actually. Ugly big purple. Yeah. Damn Partridge. I don't know what Partridge is up to these days. I know he's doing motorbike stuff. For those that don't know, it's Chris Pritchard. So we call it Chris Partridge. I can't remember why we call it Chris Partridge. There was a reason. It was so many years ago. Katie won a jersey, a Wahoo jersey. Was it the whole kit, bibs as well? In one of his segments, this has never turned up. Ah, that's right. That's right, now I remember. the whole kit and caboodle. I think would have been a map kit too, wouldn't it? I'm sure it was during the time that he was getting map kits for the map race series. They're not cheap. The coal, that's even still expensive too, isn't it? Yeah, Darren, what did you do for 5 minutes? I saw your power, but I'm not sure what per kilo is. Alright, should we start a new quiz soon? What I'll do is I'll get to the top and we'll get another quiz going. .75, getting close to that 5 watts a kilo for 5 minutes. You'll get there, Darren. You're absolutely smashing the kilometres on the bike and on the road. Darren posted up a picture yesterday, and Katie, it was very much like that Mick picture that years ago that I laugh at, because it was a couple of laps around the same course, so Darren was twice as far as the people in the picture with him. I've got such a eye to get struck down by lightning. I'm laughing at the two women in the background looking like they're chasing down Darren. You don't want to get into A category, Darren. Well, you do. It's a good achievement. It's definitely a goal. But man, once you get to A category, those catch-up efforts are going to get that TTT I did on Thursday with the Evo boys, Evo for life, turning right out of the pen straight up the hill with a reverse petite goal. It was one of those ones where they're like, I'm not going to leave anyone, I'm going to go at whoever's pace it is, and it was my pace. Halfway up, I'm dying, guys, I'm dying. Slow down. Did they slow down? No effing way did they. Pace still stayed on. It was probably the sickest I felt. I did warm up beforehand. luckily. But as we crested the top, I honestly thought I was going to vomit. I was so deep in the red. Alright, almost near the top. And then luckily, being a sea cap with all the bees, I didn't do any turns until after the aqueduct. So I had a good 10 minutes of hanging on for grim life, but recovery. The thing that kept me going was knowing that I didn't have to climb that petite com again. I knew that I was not the fastest sea. All I had to do was get to the bottom of the petite com and my day was done. If I had to go up that again, I think I would have pulled the power of my trailer. I wasn't streaming, so no one would have been able to call me a liar. I did 5 minutes, I did 460 watts or something. 400. For my VO2 efforts for 4 minutes, I was doing 445. So I would, Darren, but your races are always at the wrong time for me. I might get a chance to, but they're always in the time when I'm getting tucked into bed. Alright, next quiz. You better say the answers. Well, the questions this time. Okay. Find a new Kahoot. We've got 10 rounds. Where's round 2? Here we go, sport. How did Incognito jump in already? Is it the same pin every time? Katie's in. Let's go back to this one. Should be yeah, it's working, this one. You don't know how long it took me to settle this up. Way longer than it should have yesterday. Alright, we'll go. Everyone's got 40 seconds to get in. Oh no, we lost Katie. I think Kahoot kicked her out. Back again. Oh, 3. Got Darren this time. You always say that, Darren. You're like, oh, I'm not going to do this. Alright, what are we up to? 10 seconds. But there is a delay on the stream, so you guys will be... If you haven't joined now, you're too late. Let's start. Oh, get rid of that full screen. Here we go. So, all right, this one's definitely Commonwealth country. Oh, you all got that wrong. West Indies. Are you guys old enough to remember West Indies dominating everyone? Did trip me up, that one. Okay, I definitely don't know this one. Which NBA team originally drafted Kobe Bryant? I don't even know if these are the correct teams. Someone said, is Charlotte Hornets a real team? I'd be unsure. Oh, you got some winners. Katie and Darren. That was close. You both clicked almost the same time, but Darren's in front. It's only 5 questions. All right, where's Piglet when you need him? In rowing, what is a person who steers and calls command called? Oh, you guys are all quick on that. 2 right, 1 wrong again. Oh, Darren dropped back into last. You got the draft though. Incognito. Stepping up. All right, we've got the 4th question. Which one country won UEFA? in 1992 after Yugoslavia. Wonder why Yugoslavia was disqualified. Should have looked that up, shouldn't I? Oh, you've all got the same one. It's because you're all Europeans, aren't you? I have no idea. Oh, Katie's. I didn't see who clicked fastest. Alright, is this the last question? It is. I actually know this one. I did play baseball at one time. In baseball, what is a term for a game in which a pitcher allows no hits? Got two answers. Oh, no one got it. No hitter. Katie, who's going to come third? Incognito, then Darren, and then Katie. You get two jerseys sent out to you now, Katie. Well done, Katie. I'm thinking if this gets a bit more popular, I could probably make 10 questions per round. I went with 5, just in case people are popping in and out. Because it tries to do a wide ranging, so you have pretty much a question a lot of Australians know on cricket, and then no Australians would have known a few of the others. Cheers, Katie. So I made it 5, because a lot of people are heading off to bed. I'll send out those jerseys to you. Let's change back to... Yeah, I always like playing Kahoot. When I will let you go to bed though, Katie, but it's always hard to make the questions. So I just let the bot deal with the questions. If it gets it wrong, no one really cares, do they? It's a bit of fun. You'll learn a few things that I forget next day. The hardest thing, if I keep doing this regularly, is making sure I don't repeat too many questions again. It kept on wanting to give me the longest day or the shortest day or something in the planets. I think it was the shortest day. I've got no idea, Darren. This is why I was saying a lot of Australians do follow the World Cup, but I don't. I struggle to keep up with the Formula One. Who is playing today? And who's everyone going for? Who's everyone qualified? I think one of these things is, I don't think Australia's qualified this year, have they? I haven't heard anything in the news. Unless we've got to such a point now where massive news like Australia's playing the World Cup does not even filter through to my socials. I just get those annoying idiots posting about flat earth. Oh, lucky I'm finishing up. I'm not doing for 4 hours. No Australia, yeah. Does the World Cup really matter without Australia? How do we not qualify? Usually we've just got to turn up. Oh, New Zealand's in. Kind of got to go for New Zealand, don't I? My grandmother's New Zealander. The tiniest New Zealander you've ever met. It's kind of odd that they're playing the game when Europe's asleep. I was thinking that was a green banner for a second to start my next 245. Just rereading that question from Spiky Mikey. You're always a shit stirrer, aren't you, Spiky? The most annoying thing is you're doing an event and Spiky's in it. You go up a climb absolutely dying, getting popped off the back. And Spiky Mikey pops in with some smart ass comment. It makes you laugh. And you get dropped. I was going to get dropped anyway, but the amount of times I'm laughing and can't breathe properly because of smart ass Spiky. Yeah, so well, what time's the game start? 4 hours, so it'd be 3 AM for you. 2 AM in UK. The worst thing about soccer, it's also a great thing, is it go for damn forever. I know Australian football goes for a long time, but you got soccer, so it can be 0-0 or 1-1 or 2 or whatever at the end. Then you got all that extra time, then nothing happens. You got penalty shootouts, which that could take half an hour or an hour. Are they? Surely not. I don't believe anything you say, like. I'll go for whoever's either Australia, New Zealand, whoever's in. I've got to say soccer, otherwise it confuses me, Katie. Being in Australia, you've got rugby league, rugby union, and Aussie rules soccer. Then occasionally we'll play that weird hybrid Gaelic Aussie rules game. Don't know if they've done that for a while. I have to confess I never watched a full hybrid Gaelic football game between Australia and, is it Ireland? I think it's the Irish. That almost sounds like a joke. Talking turkey. Alright, what are the odds? Australia versus Turkey. I haven't watched football for so long that I don't even know who's in the Australian team anymore. When I used to work in a restaurant, the head chef used to be a massive football fan. So pretty much pay us to come to work to watch the football during the World Cup. Sit around in the middle of the night. The good old days when Harry Kewell was disappointing us by missing many shots on goal. Damn, Italy broke our hearts. Never recovered since. So call it soccer now. I've got a feeling this course that I'm doing goes up a bump. I'm not sure why. Maybe that bloody huge thing on the map. Must be the Epic Com Paducah. He was a bit of a beast. Was it Bosnich, the goalkeeper? Pretty certain it was Mark Bosnich. Also a fine Australian export. Although I've got to be careful because our footballers, they could have disgraced themselves terribly in a nightclub somewhere. A bit like the I thought you were going to bed, Katie, but we started talking about football. Got your heart rate going again. I haven't been following the cricket, but I've seen that England are having a bit of troubles with their drinking. Blows my mind. Maybe it's because I'm Australian and I just expect Australian sportsmen to behave terribly if you give them alcohol in a pub after midnight. But it blows my mind that they still do that. Not YouTube appropriate, but the most famous incident was Todd Carney in the toilets, drunk as a skunk, being his own fountain. You can never live that down. Yeah, he was a good commentator. It's one of the things I liked about soccer, football, is that the commentary is always interesting to listen to, because we don't get to listen to it that often. Well, I don't, because I only watch football when it's World Cup time. So you get to hear different stories for once, not the same stories of the cricketers. All right, should get another quiz going. Let's go. Let's get this organised. What are we up to? Quiz 3. Music 80s, 90s and 2000s. I'll start. All right. See how many we get in. I know, Sparky. The most annoying thing is that Adam from Zwift Ride posted up a new KICKR. Is it KICKR? Anyway, the Chasing Yellow people got a new series starting tonight. I'd actually wouldn't mind doing it, but I'm not fit enough to do back races. I think it's 7 days. What I did is got the Discord, checked to see when the races are, and then tried to forget about it. Well, we got 2 in. Majestic Goose. Incognito. I'm doing a TT in the VO2 workouts every week. That kind of puts me in the red at the moment. Well, it does. I took 2 days off. So Friday, Saturday I didn't ride, because I haven't had more than 1 day off for a few weeks now. It's sort of better. Take 2 days off and then get another few weeks in. I really should have done an FTP test at the beginning, but no one really cares. I think it was around 270. Now it's around 295. All right, well, the stream's delayed, but end of this workout, jump in, workout. You got an hour and a half. End of this interval of this workout. When I start doing green, I'm pressing start. If anyone doesn't know what it is, it's Kahoot.com. Pretty certain everyone's watched this. Majestic Goose. I was thinking it was you, Sparky, but I couldn't work out why you did Majestic Goose, and then realised it was just a placeholder. All right, pressing start. And 5, just to give you a chance, because it is delayed. Here we go. Whoop, get out of full screen. Wristband released. Enjoy the silence. Quick. You got it. Incognito. It does show that the leaderboards have still got Katie and Darren, but I think that's just because I'm doing quizzes back to back. So, did confuse me at first last week. Virtual insanity. Oh, I had no idea what that was. Both of you are right. Quick fire again. 3 or 5. Oh, still same answers again. We're going to get a difference next one. Incognito's a streak of 3. Here we go, 4 or 5. Can we split the difference here? Probably not. This is a pretty easy question, isn't it? My audience should get that right. Is there going to be a catch up, or is oh, here we go. Is it going to be close, or is it going to get further away? Katie, you came third even though you weren't playing. Oh no. Incognito's pulled ahead. 4,666. I don't know if I trust your answers now, Spiky. It's funny making a quiz because yeah, I'll send Katie out some socks to go with the jerseys. So I'm making a quiz because if you know the answers, it seems like a really simple question. There's a couple of those I was like, oh, surely they're too easy. But the one good thing about Kahoot, it's also time-based, so stress under pressure. I can't hear my own sound. Do you think I can turn up Zwift? Get a bit of background noise. I think Zwift's pretty quiet. It's annoying with Zwift because sometimes you go through sections where it's really loud. Wait, you won't be able to hear Zwift anyway because it's... There we go. Okay. Maybe you could hear Zwift before. Maybe you can just hear Kahoot now. Just me rambling to myself. Stream set up things. I think I can make... Let's have a look. Oh, this one. Because I want a little bit of noise from Zwift. Let me know. Can you hear Zwift or not? It's too loud, it's too quiet. It's a quiz question. Only one correct answer. I'll give this person a ride on. Is that Guerra, the famous Guerra that will kick my ass? I think it is. She's done. She's from Brazil, but there's probably a lot of Brazilians with the last name that. Probably like Smith in Brazil. Well, actually, it's Nathan from Brazil. I know he's American, but where's his name from? And also, I'm just remembering, is it actually, does she use, they get married and she took his name? I always get confused. I haven't watched Zwift for so long. Ever since Katie stopped Zwifting, I stopped watching Zwift. It was done. We'll see if I can see the Yeti. I think I've already gone past where it comes out though, isn't it? Oh, it's just here, isn't it? Yeah. I can't see the Yeti. Alright, no one's said if the sound's worse or better. Maybe you can't hear me anymore. We'll leave it as is. If someone's listening and it sounds terrible, let me know. If it sounds fine, let's keep going. Alright, let's get this next section of I don't think they're as fun as the tiny races because the results don't matter. Cheers, Sparky. And I'll never know if you never trust you. The tiny races are more fun because you try and use a strategy. You're like, should I go here? Or you're just holding on for dear life. It depends. If a tiny race is always holding him for dear life for you, you're exactly the same. Probably even better because you're not disappointed if you get dropped. Effort-wise, I think they're pretty similar because you can obviously go as hard as you want for the VO2 intervals. You don't just smash yourself, but generally you try to. I would like to get back into the tiny races. Problem is, but a really bad time for me. I think ones are starting now, but I don't want Sunday to be my tiny racy day. Tiny racy day. I've been talking to my son too much. I want Sunday to be my long endurance ride. And it's on Saturday night otherwise, that's the first time slot. Just during the middle of dinner on a Saturday night. So that's a long-winded answer. No, not as fun as tiny races, but if you've done tiny races for ages, it's a good change. Yeah, Darren, you can eat dinner whenever you want though. And also, you've probably done lots of exercise already. Gone are the days where I have Wheat Bix for dinner after doing a 3-hour ride. now I have to get off the bike and go into the lounge room. I can't complain, someone's making me dinner. I ain't complain about that. I try to cook, but Whitney does not like my cooking. She'll put up with it to give herself a break. So I'll cook a couple of days a week. But it's usually lasagna, pre-made lasagna, or some other pasta. You do whatever I want. All right, here we go, up the grade. It's a great thing about doing erg mode. It makes no difference. Flat or hill. Good for me anyway, because I'm heavy. And I've got the gravel bike. That's my excuse. Is it just me, or does my rear wheel look like it's wonky? Or is it just because the bike's slightly moving? You might not be able to tell. It just looks like, I think because the whole bike's moving, but it looks like the rear wheel moves more than the bike. Alright, I forgot about the quiz, didn't I? Let's go to the next one, whilst I'm doing my 1 minute interval. What have I got to? 4? I've got to keep it. Yeah, weird, wonderful animals. Must be the same pin for every single time. So if you've got Kahoot running in the background, it keeps you joined in. Just when you think you're out, you get pulled back in. Sparky's trying to come up with a new name that is accepted. I reckon Gunner's collapsed in a heap on the couch. I wonder who lies or lies. Lies. I think you joined later, Spiky, but Gunner did that same race that Ad Lavrak was in. So he was just crashed out in the couch now. Alright, I'll give it till, well, for you guys it'll probably be 1 minute 10 to go in this interval. I'll click start at 1 minute for me. This one's actually got some good questions. There's Chris Redman. He did to Sparky. I think you said Ed got 10th. Don't know what Gunner got. Last week Gunner did a race on the road with his mountain bike because it was a mountain bike. Oh, here we go, 1 minute. there was a mountain bike, what do you call it? Anyway, you could ride in the mountain bike category on the road. So he and a few others did that. What's a group of ferrets called? Oh, we've got two answers, and none of them right. At least it's close still. It's a tough question, that one. Definitely guess. Which animal's fingerprints are famously very similar to human fingerprints? Oh, I actually would have gone raccoon as well. That'd have been a bit embarrassing. I should know that. I did actually know that though. I've never really confused a koala with a person before. Top quality match, this one. Which bird can sleep while flying? Pelican. Surely you two did that as a joke. Imagine a pelican falling asleep and crashing into something. I wonder how that works. Must be resting, sleeping face. Which creature has blue blood? Because it uses copper-based. I'm not going to pronounce that word whilst I'm breathing heavily. Alright, is anyone going to get this one right? So we get the record of everyone getting one wrong. Octopus, damn it, you all got that right. Who got the fastest though? Oh, incognito. Car Spiky, last question. Incognito, hold him off. Which animal is known for farming algae in its fur? AKA the dirty bastard. Oh, we got two different answers. One's right. Here we go. What's going to happen here? Katie got more socks. Ah, incognito. You only got one right then, Spiky. They were really hard. The one I should have got right, I would have got wrong. I think the octopus was the only one that I would have got right. It would have been hilarious if Katie beat you. Don't know how that's possible, but if you got everything wrong, might have put her in second place. I might eventually circle around to doing some Zwift questions, but I find questions that are completely unrelated to Zwift so much more fun at the moment. Things like which is the, I don't know how to do a question for Zwift. Which course held the most amount of UCI World Championships for esports or something like that? Not a very interesting answer, is it? Who cares? I guess I could do who's the biggest cheater on Zwift. Things like that. That'd spice things up. I almost killed my trainer this week. I was moving things around to make a video. The last one, I think the level up one that confused the hell out of me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did the level up 45-minute event, recorded it. Well, next game, we can start again if you want now. Ready to go. What are we up to? 5. Halfway through. Weird world facts. So, I was anyway, long story short, I tripped over the power cord from my trainer and thought I destroyed the connection. It was one of those moments I was like, God damn it. But at the same time, I've been looking for an excuse to get a new trainer for so long. Oh, we got Mike in. If you don't know how to do Kahoot, I think you just go to, well, on my thing it shows play Kahoot.it, but just go to Google Kahoot and then put the pen in. Totally useless. I don't know which one's Mike. Incognito could have taken Mike's name. I think Spikey's gone totally useless. Or are you Mike as well? CHFMP. Anyway, so I thought I'd ruin my trainer, but I hadn't. The reason why I'm saying it is because for the first time in so long, you can get a discounted Zwift Ride in Australia and New Zealand, which is what that thing is way over there. Can I point to it? Other side of my screen. Australia and New Zealand only. But basically we get the deal that you guys have been getting in Europe and America, except for Canadians. Same thing with the trainer. I think the trainer has been discounted, but maybe not the Core 2. So I was tempted to jump online and grab that, but the trainer's working fine. Damn it. All right. Here we go. We're going to start at my 30 seconds in game, which gives you about 20 seconds to join if you haven't already. I think you can join mid-game. All right, Sparky. Here we go. Starting out of full screen. It's a tough one. I don't know if anyone will get this, unless it's a common quiz question. Yes, it was a guess, wasn't it? See if Katie can beat you guys. In case you don't know. Still holds the other people in the game, but it's still only 2 of you. Mike, you're dead last. But don't worry, you'll beat those other 3. I didn't know this one either. Probably didn't know any of these questions. A tittle. There we go. We all learnt something. Sounds like something we would have learned in class and thought it was hilarious. Not ever forgotten. Incognito, you're holding on to your lead. Katie's hanging in there. Okay. Surely this is going to be answerable, surely. Oh, I actually googled it to make sure it was correct. I googled it, I was like, unicorn, what the hell? Apparently, unless there's like a massive conspiracy the last few days on the internet, which country has a purple colour in its national flag? Oh, we got the right answer. We got the right one. Who is it? Who's busted out of the pack? Mike. All right. Here we go. Here we go, Sparky. Oh, did you get kicked out? Where's your... Are you Majestic Goose now? I think you must have changed it, didn't you? Or is it... I don't know, I'm more confused now. I'm sure you had a different name. Who's winning? 5 of 5. Here we go. All right. I knew this one. You guys should know this one. Got an answer. All right, you both got that right. Oh, Katie's been bumped off the second place position. Incognito. Third. Totally useless. Yeah, I thought your name was there. I don't know why I couldn't see it. All right. So who was Mike? Who's the real Mike? It was a close one, wasn't it? We haven't got the reigning champs from last week. Cheers, Mikey. Wes and Rob, Switchy Zwift aren't here. Katie didn't win any socks this time. Saves me shipping. Wake up in a few hours, Spikey, and watch the football. I don't actually know who Scotland's playing. Maybe you guys mentioned in the chat and I wasn't paying attention. Standard. Sorry, noise, a bit of noise from my microphone, I realised. Probably makes no difference, but change the angle slightly. It's not pointed at my belly anymore. I was going to say something else, but I thought I'd keep it clean. This ain't no partridge stream. All right. There we go. A little rest. So if you've actually been caring about the workout I'm doing, it gets easier for me now. My 1 minute efforts are the same. My 3 minute efforts drop down just a touch. Because this is a 2 hour version of it, if I was doing the 90-minute version, the 3 minute efforts would stay the same. I was a bit worried because I was running out of sugar. Have to go to the shops today and get another 20 kilograms of sugar because I only had 30 grams of sugar left this morning. I left a little bit for coffee and the rest of the household, but I just dumped a whole lot of Milo into my drink as well. Even though I'm so heavy at the moment, it's all relative. I'm still a skinny person compared to a lot of other people. But I'm a big proponent of always making sure you fuel your training rides. This is 2 hours, so I definitely need to fuel this. Even the 45 and 60-minute training rides. I know people ignore my advice, but always overfuel for your training rides. It's much better overfuel on the bike than underfuel, because you'll get off the bike and you'll eat less, especially 1 or 2 hours after you ride, when your metabolism starts slowing down again. The biggest increase I saw in my power during training was making sure I fueled these efforts, the 1 hour efforts on my races. I actually started losing weight quicker. So much so that I was worried that I was getting cancer or something. What I was taking is, for these workouts I was doing at least 60 grams of sugar per hour, which does seem like overkill for a 2-hour workout, 120 grams of sugar. But I found my recovery and just eating off the bike, you don't notice it immediately, but I sort of hit a plateau. Of course, it's not scientific. Correlation doesn't mean causation, but figure what the hell, doesn't make a difference if you overfuel on the bike, because you're not going to get diabetes eating sugar while exercising. So you're not causing any harm. The only issue is digestion issues. But one of the advantages of overeating on the bike, or overfueling on the bike, is you train one of the most important systems for endurance riding, which is your digestive system. So often if you go for rides with people who do 1 or 2 hour rides and don't take anything on board because they don't think they need to, potentially you don't need to. You might lose a little bit at the end of that 1 minute sprint at the race. You're going to get through that ride. But the issue is, you do that all the time, and then you're going to do a 4 hour ride or longer, and you try to take in food. Your stomach's like, whoa, 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 what's this? I'm exercising. Obviously I'm paraphrasing here, but it's one of the things that you need to train, being able to digest on the bike whilst doing your zone 2 and zone 3 efforts. Doesn't matter if you're never going to do more than a 2 hour ride. If you want to get fast over long distances, you got to train for those in the short rides. Anyway, it's my rant. What I was going to rant about VO2. Obviously I'm doing VO2 workouts every week. But GCN did that VO2 video. Was it 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, or something like that. There's been lots of other VO2 videos blowing up on the internet the last few weeks. Probably why GCN did the VO2 video. I'm not going to spit out research and everything, but it is quite funny how the internet will take something, will blow up, and then other YouTubers will see that it's blowing up. Oh, 211 watts for my grade. And then what they'll do is everyone will make content around it. So at the moment, it might just be because of my feed, but everyone's talking about how VO2 is like the cheat code, pretty much is what most of the headings are, kind of annoys me because it's disingenuous. Especially the part about having a high VO2 is linked to longevity. It's one of those causation does not equal correlation statistics. Of course, having a higher VO2 indicates that you're going to live longer, because someone lying in bed with chronic illnesses is going to have a crap VO2. If you can get out, like, it skews the graph severely. Anyone who get outside and exercise is generally going to live longer than someone who can't get out of bed because of a chronic illness. You can pretty much take any of those measurements. Say anyone who walks 10 kilometers a day lives far longer than those who don't. You know, shit. So it's a metric that really annoys when I see come up, because it sounds fancy. Sounds like something you can attain easily and live longer. But one of the biggest things is VO2 is not something that you can increase forever. Yes, like any exercise, it takes a while to build it up. But if you spend 5 years trying to increase your VO2, you'll hit your VO2 ceiling a lot quicker than you will your endurance capability. So if you train for 5 years, your VO2 might stay the same for the last 2 years. But if you keep that consistent training, your FTP is going to go up. I know I harp on about FTP not being the most important factor, but FTP is linked to your lower threshold and your threshold. If your threshold is 10 watts higher than someone else's who's got a higher VO2 than yours, then yes, in theory they can beat you in certain points of a race. But if you do a hard, long 2-hour race, you're going to win in the end if you make that race hard enough. Now, of course, if your VO2 is terrible, then they might be able to break away from you and you'll get dropped from a pack. But if it's one-on-one, you're clawing back, assuming watts per kilo is the same. So one of the things that actually increased my VO2 wasn't actually VO2 workout at all as well. Doing this workout, and purely this workout, I did 3 weeks of just this, and my VO2 increased enormously, purely because I was training. I went from not training that much to training a lot. Surprise, surprise, my VO2 went up. If I was a coach for someone who'd never done any training and had plenty of time, so it wasn't like they had half an hour a day only, this is a workout I'd give them. Start off with 30 or 45 minutes. I want it to be easy, and then ramp it up. Once they can get through these 2-hour workouts, if they can get through this, they're already fitter than a lot of people who ride a bike. Just get through a 3-week block doing this workout a couple of times a week, and they'll be no cat. It's not because this workout is better than any other workout. It's because this workout's repeatable. It doesn't give you so much fatigue that you need to take days off to recover. In fact, you can be in the red as long as you haven't dug a huge hole. You can be in the red and do this for 90 minutes and feel fresher the next day. Now, if you've got more time and you want to, you can obviously just do blue for 3 hours. Blue and grey. But this is, I find, a really good balance between time and effective, efficient training. KICKR, I'm not going to leave that one alone. That name. I've got to stand up on that one. My butt's getting sore. Anyway, so that's my non-scientific approach, practical approach to VO2. Let's do another quiz. I've got it lined up. Wait to see if anyone enters. What are we up to? Sport, proper guessing. It's a weird title. Don't think there is proper guessing in this one. Okay. Everyone's probably gone to bed. Could be a while till the next quiz. Feel free to jump in if you're watching. You can put any name you want, so if you're worried about getting them all wrong, let's put down Spiky Mikey's name. He's gone to bed. Could be a while before we get anyone, because everyone's probably either gone to sleep to try and get up for the World Cup or getting ready to watch the World Cup. Might even be a game on now. Good thing is I had to pay for Kahoot yet. I think legally I have to pay for Kahoot if I start making money on YouTube. I'm all away from that, so I don't have to worry about doing that because I'm not a commercial enterprise yet. It's just a guy in the shed having fun. Fister keeps chasing me. Hope they don't catch me. Doesn't sound pleasant. Alright, 10 seconds to go for the next 1 minute workout. It's one of the few times I got to the top here and not thinking, thank God I'm not going up the radio tower. I very rarely do a workout up this hill. I'm usually in a race. I'm absolutely dead by now. And then sometimes you know for certain that you go up the radio tower. Other times, well, now that you've got the map you can tell. But previous years, the mini-map wasn't so useful. So you weren't sure if you go up the radio tower until you got to here. And there was always a sigh of relief when you went straight. There's nowhere to hide on the radio tower. The problem is, if you die on the radio tower, you come to a screeching halt. For those who've never done the radio tower, it's just here off to the left, you can just see the road going up. It's like 15%, 16%. It's not that far. The top's just you can just see the tower now under my graph. That's the top. But sure takes a long time to get up there. Once you've done the epic already. I should steer around the outside of this corner, shouldn't I? Get more distance from upgrade. Probably only makes 10 metres difference. So I have to keep rolling a bit further at the end, don't I? Keeps me occupied whilst waiting for the next round of people to join in for Kahoot. Oh, my Zwift is not quite. Why is my Zwift? My Zwift has got the black bars up and down it. How did that happen? I spent ages yesterday lining everything up. I made Zwift full screen. Maybe I accidentally made it yesterday. Maybe I made it when it wasn't full screen. Although still not quite right. Back to full screen. Oh, I'll leave it at that. Consistency over the stream. You guys wouldn't have noticed unless I told you. But if you notice compared to last week, my layout's slightly different. Well, this one's completely different. But I got rid of I rebuilt the bars. I was like, okay, why don't I make a template? I'll go into my video editing software, DaVinci Resolve, because I'm the most comfortable with that. Make a template. And after stuffing around that for half an hour, I realised the biggest issue was that I could make the bars, but then making it so it fits all these screens wasn't right. There's a lot of fiddling about. So shut that down. Decided to make it manually in OBS. So all the bars here, obviously this is a border. That's the easiest one to make. Literally a border. And then these ones here, they're just, what are they called? What's the actual filter? Let me see if I can add. It is a color source. So if you go into OBS, you choose color source, and then you put in the dimensions. So if you do color source 1920 by 1080, then you fill the whole screen up, obviously. But you can put like 1920 by 12, and then you end up with like that whole way across. So I just got 1, 2, 3 bars. Can't get my finger there. Simple. Gives me a little bit of joy. Didn't take too long once I worked out the best method. Now what I could do is try and make it fancier. Okay. If I decide that I want to waste my time doing that, I could add a little bit of a gradient, a little bit of a drop shadow, but it's not really worth it. Oh, we're going to the Italian villas. Good. I'm supposed to go to the outside, aren't I? Because at the moment, it's pretty much as close as I need to get. I think the most important thing is that these two line up, and then that one. Problem with ABS is things break. If you stop using the program for a few weeks, you come back and you go to open that stuff up and things, for some reason, it's like little gremlins come in overnight, start chewing away at your scenes. So many of my former scenes that I used to make when I used to stream, especially like the Chasing Yellow FRR series, where I'd stream every day for 20 days. Then I'd not stream for a while. Come back to it. Things are all broken. I think because the biggest issue is I'll make videos. So I change the canvas size and then not realise I've changed the canvas size. And then go to stream and realise everything's on the wrong spot. Move it around and then realise that because the canvas size was wrong. Change the canvas size. Everything's in the wrong spot again. Alright, here we go. 1 minute. It's 8:10 here, local time. In the morning. One of the worries I had was there's going to pour down the rain outside, because I don't use active noise reduction for my streams. I really dislike active noise reduction. A lot of people use it because they have to, because it has so many annoying sounds coming through. I've got a lot of soft surfaces around, so there's no annoying sounds. So with active noise reduction, I've got the fan off now. I'll turn it back on again. Hear the beeping and stuff. You can hear my breathing. What I dislike about active noise reduction is that it makes your voice sound different. It takes a lot of the tone out of your voice. Sound a bit robotic, especially if you've got lots of noises going around. Or you can clip your words at the beginning and end of sentences, or even mid-sentence if you pause. And to me that annoys me more than hearing the fan or the trainer. I actually like the sound of the trainer. If anything, there's not enough sound of trainer in my streams. I'm trying to get Zwift to be louder in my stream. I don't know if it's loud enough still. One of the issues with Zwift is that the sound levels can change so much depending on where you're riding. So you think you got the sound level right, and then you ride into a different area, it's quiet again. I know people don't enter my streams to hear me talk about the technical stuff, unless you're a streamer yourself. But I've got to feel the timing somehow, don't I? That's what I love doing. What I might do, but there's a bit of a hassle with it, have two microphones, one for my voice, and then what I have done in the past is put a microphone under the trainer, pipe that through the stream, So you can hear the sound of the chain and the effort sometimes. Because one of the things that's weird when you're watching someone with active noise reduction is you'll see them sprint. So you can see that making a huge effort, but you can't hear the effort. You can't hear the chaos and the energy going through the drivetrain. And that doesn't matter on a stream like this where I'm not doing big efforts. My 247 watts. Let's not put the big strain on the drivetrain. But when I get back into doing racing, or racing streams specifically, I like to have that sorted out. One of the settings that you definitely don't ever want to do when you're doing a Zwift stream, and it's a setting that everyone recommends for streaming, because for every other form of streaming, well, standard streaming anyway, you're playing computer games sitting on your computer, a noise gate is a must, because what it will do is until the noise gets to a certain threshold, it won't let it through the stream. So if you're sitting there playing a computer game, clicking a mouse button and typing on keys, that gets really annoying. Active noise reduction gets rid of that, but also noise gate was a traditional version. So when someone talks, you can still hear their mouse clicking and keyboard presses, but in between, you just hear the game. But that is the worst setting to put on when you're riding a bike without active noise reduction. Because what will happen is you'll hear the sound constantly kick in and out of everything else. So you hear the fan, the trainer, my breathing will disappear. And then just as I'm about to speak, it all comes back in again. The gate opening and closing. And I've occasionally accidentally left that on during streams. No one seems to say anything in the chat because most people aren't ready. They're just watching along whilst doing other things. But it is so annoying. You can't change it once you streamed it unless you take it down, process the noise and then put it back up again. There's no point in doing that. YouTube says, oh, what you can do is you can cut the end or cut the beginning of live streams so that people who are watching the replay will jump straight into the beginning of it rather than you faffing about. But it's stupid because if you do that, what happens is when it reprocesses, it removes all of the live chat, which is pretty much the only reason why you watch a live stream and a replay is to read the chat back, which is one of the reasons why I used to always have the chat somewhere around here on my streams, just so when people watch the live stream back, they can see the chat without opening the box. Maybe I'll bring that back once I've taken away the affiliate link when the sale runs out. And then I could possibly do that at the end of a live stream. But really, it's just a case of moving on to the next thing. Alright, what have we got? 25 minutes. I'm definitely fighting a losing battle with the crowd, aren't I? Everyone's off doing other things. Good thing is I've got a mate coming over in 45 minutes. So at least I won't forget. Hang around for half an hour on the stream. He'll be rocking up while I'm still streaming. I say that, but then probably get someone into the chat and start talking about my favourite subjects, and I'll get distracted. One of the things I am fighting with sound is the breathing noise. I think it's because I had a expander on, or a compressor. Yeah, a compressor. It's one of the other settings you've also got to make sure you don't have, because what a compressor does is it makes all your quiet sounds louder and your loud sounds quieter, which is a pretty bad idea. It's like the opposite effect to what you want. So it makes my breathing louder. It's a setting I'll also forget to change. Hopefully it's still off. Well, usually what happens is there's a firmware upgrade and I forget to check, and the firmware upgrade turns it back on by default, and I don't notice it because of everything else you do when you set up a stream. I think having a compressor on is the worst thing if you've got active noise reduction, because it brings all the noises closer together. So active noise reduction is getting very confused about the noises. It makes it harder to remove the sounds from your voice. So that's another tip if you're using active noise reduction. Make sure you've got no compressor at all, filters on it. All depends on your hardware. Some microphones will put it on there by default as a profile. You won't notice it. You can't even change it. It's one of the disadvantages of using consumer level audio equipment. Sometimes you just can't adjust those presets. Alright, we've got a couple more of these 1 minute efforts. Only got 3.2 kilometers to go to get the route badge. It's actually ended up picking pretty good distance from my route badge. I couldn't have done too many more kilometers and run out of time. It'd be pretty annoying being 5 kilometers from the finish of a route badge after 2 hours. Or even 3 kilometers. All right. There we go. Alright, so if you're watching this on a replay, because I don't think anyone's watching at the moment, definitely no one in chat. This workout, basically you can see it's the same, it's just 2 different intervals. green for a minute, blue for a minute, 3 minutes I should say. What it does is it works your lower threshold over-unders. Your lower threshold being the power that you can do. Say if you went for a 12-hour ride, not necessarily riding the 12-hour ride as hard as you can, but by the end of your 12-hour ride, whatever that power is, will generally be close to a lower threshold. So it's definitely not near your threshold. For me, my FTP is about 294 according to Exert. So you can see it's not going anywhere near that with a 1 minute power. But I think it says my LTP is probably about 230, I'm guessing. So it gives you a bit of a ballpark for if you haven't got Exert or other AI that tell you a similar number. And on Zwift, it's just basically blue and green, isn't it? Doesn't have to be exact. Just do blue and green. You're doing over-unders. You want to be able to talk the whole time. During the 1 minute efforts, you can still talk. And it starts off pretty easy at the beginning. But once you get to this stage, those 1 minute efforts, out of 10, I'd say they're probably six or so. I can definitely do more, but they're getting uncomfortable. And these workouts are great because they increase everything across the board, because it's building up your endurance. As I was saying before, there's a big thing about VO2 at the moment on YouTube, because I suppose Northern Hemisphere's outdoors, everyone's trying to get maximum gains. VO2 is the buzzword at the moment. You can do VO2 workouts, there's nothing wrong with that. VO2 is great if you haven't got much time. That's why I do them on a Tuesday night. I get about 45, well probably 55 minutes of riding in. Gives me one form of VO2 a week. But then the rest of your riding, if all you ever did was this workout, your VO2 would increase as well, if you haven't hit a maximum for VO2. The creator of Exert, who's an engineer, one of the greatest pieces of advice I ever read from anyone was he was saying that you don't need to worry about your VO2 if your event is a year away. You can pretty much not ignore it, but you don't need to worry about it, because whatever you do for your VO2 now can easily be made up for 3 months to the event. It's more of a short-term thing you can build up. Whereas if you start training a year before an event, doing this sort of workout is going to count in a year's time if you keep the consistency up. It's going to build and build and build. Yes, you need rest periods, but if you're 6 months from an event, doing these workouts consistently will be a bigger bang for your buck than doing VO2 workouts. Well, I got the route, but I didn't see how many XP I got. Disappeared too quickly. And this is, like, I didn't get the highest FTP. I'm not saying I was the greatest, strongest athlete ever. But one of the things I did when I went from 270 FTP to 350 watts FTP this is what it built on. Moving on to doing a lot more racing and less of these efforts. My 1 minute power didn't really change much. If anything, doing more racing meant I did less hours per week, and kind of got into, as everyone always talks about, if you do too much racing, you get stuck, you plateau, and you just won't get any better. It doesn't really matter for me. I was quite happy enjoying riding. I could have added 5 hours extra a week to my training to get 20 watts FTP higher. My highest FTP, it did show 380, but that was potentially just a blip. 370, I'd say, was my highest sustainable FTP. I could have got to 390 if I put 5 hours more a week, less racing, more of these rides. But what was the point? I wasn't racing professionally. I wasn't earning any money. The My Wahoo series wasn't around then, unfortunately. I would have loved it if the My Wahoo series was around when I was at my fittest and had the time. Potentially I would have done more hours then a week. Concentrated on just racing that once a week for Sunday Race Club. But you look at the people who sustain, I'm going to go left, I've done that route. The people who sustained their training over many years, they're not training for an event. They do events because they're fit. But I think what happens a lot of the times is people get to cycling, really enjoy increasing their fitness, because it is pretty fun to see yourself increasing your fitness. It's actually one of the things I enjoyed a lot was taking a rest. 105 now. Taking a rest, losing a bit of fitness and building it back up again, trying a different training method. One of the things I failed at was to try to train as a sprinter. It's very difficult to train as a sprinter when you've already got a high FTP, because you've got to give up that FTP for sprint power. It's hard. It's hard to get rid of, to lose FTP for a sprint. Especially if you're already racing against guys that are stronger than you, FTP wise. Where was I going anyway? I was talking about something. Oh yeah, so the guys that I know who've been riding their bikes for years didn't start off riding and then go, okay, I'm only going to do, like say, an Everesting or Mallorca 312. Something really difficult. Locally here in Melbourne, around the bay, 300 kilometres. I've actually got that shit jersey on now. It's dead flat, so it's actually quite easy. It's not like you're doing massive mountains. But for anyone who's unfit, to go around the bay 300 kilometres is a massive achievement. What happens is you complete your goal, and then it's kind of like, well, what now? And it becomes hard to get on the bike and keep your training going if you completed a goal, especially a big one. So generally what happens is people will do that big goal, have a bit of a rest because they're exhausted, and their interest really drops off. Oh, Ben Riz gave me a ride on. Check the chat. No one's in there. But the people who always ride every day, well, not every day, Say if you ride every weekend with your mates, do a cafe ride or something. They'll keep riding for years. Not because they're trying to get super fit for an event. Same with people who ride to work. As long as they don't change jobs or move or have a crash, they'll generally keep riding. They might only be riding for commuting, but a lot of people who ride for commuting then move on to doing riding for fun, like you go on a holiday. Especially when you go to other countries where you haven't got your car, but you can get a bike. Take your girlfriend or wife or husband and boyfriend or whatever. Hire a bike and ride around. One of the things I really enjoyed about Barcelona is riding around with a bike. One of the things I disliked was people trying to steal the bike, but getting around Barcelona on a bike in summertime is absolutely amazing. You really miss out on taking on the city sites and everything if you take public transport. Here in Melbourne, we've got some amazing rail trails, very flat routes on gravel, and you can go between towns. If I was on a holiday in Melbourne, it's one of the things I do. So, as I was rambling along, yeah, the key to fitness is not a goal. It's just doing it because it's a habit. One of the traps I did used to get into at the very beginning of riding was spending 20 minutes trying to work out which workout I'm going to do, which would be the most productive. The silly thing is, if I just got on the bike and done blue for that 20 minutes, it didn't matter what I do after that. I could just do blue for the rest of the time. Trying to get a workout where I'm doing sitting at tempo and threshold to try and maximize the time, but spending 20 minutes deciding on that workout it's counterproductive. It's fun if you like doing that. If you got the time to sit there and decide what workout you're going to do before you get home from work or something, you're sitting on the bus, train, although you probably could be riding to work and riding back again and getting that training in, but you can't always ride to work. What have we got? 1 more minute to go, or one more interval of 1 minute, and then almost done. Tell you what, I'd be glad to upgrade this gravel bike to level 5. There are some hacks that I could do to upgrade it quicker. Can't be bothered. We'll get there, slowly, slowly. I forgot to give people ride-ons. Right, here we go, last minute. Get the RPM up. I'm not a big proponent of RPM training, but After 2 hours of riding, feels good just to do something different. Keep it around 100. Alright, bit of out of the seat stuff. Probably should have slowed down my RPM. Choo choo. My son is almost 2 years old. Absolutely obsessed with trains. So always got choo choo, chugga 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 chugga. Choo choo stuck in my head. Trains, planes, trucks. It's funny because I don't know if it's because of me that he really loves automobiles. I do try and get him to play tea sets and stuff, but it's not like I dress up dolls and things. I do games where you do make believe with the toys, so it's not like strictly masculine things. But I do wonder if he was just brought up by his mum, if he'd still be obsessed with cars and planes and trains. He's not so obsessed with boats. But trains, trams. I don't know if it's a nature versus nurture thing. He loves crashes. He's got, what he does now is he does walking, so he walks backwards in the lounge room. So he's walking backwards, and then also does crashes, so he'd be standing there and he just chucks himself on the ground on his ass. Crash. Looks painful, but it seems to be alright. And then he lays down, says, I crashed. It's so destructive. it's every kid's destructive, though. But you put anything together, like he's got a firehouse that he got given as a present 6 months ago. That firehouse is always pulled over, pulled apart, ramps are all gone. Gets rebuilt every single day. Not by him. Alright, stream just about done. My workout just about done. 2 hours until the football, I think. Unless there's a game before the Scottish match. I've got 300 metres to go till I get 53. Let's get to that 53 kilometre mark. Should take a picture of this, shouldn't I? Where's my Zwift? Take a picture of this. Ah, I pressed dismiss. I didn't mean to press dismiss. No, give me the... There we go. Okay. Where's my... Come on, phone, get Wi-Fi. Oh, I've still got another 100 metres to go. So I get 53. I think I must have got it, surely. Where is it? Yeah, I got my 53. Okay. I have to press F10 on the keyboard. Whoa. Excuse the sound. Okay. Oh dear, what's my 105? I've got 8,588 XP. So remember, I get 4 times XP though. If you haven't watched my video about doing the level up 45-minute group rides, me getting very confused about why I wasn't getting 4 times XP for that. So I get 4 times XP for everything but that bonus 20 XP when they do a 40 XP per kilometre. I just get 60 XP on top. Anyway, go and watch that video. I won't bother linking it somewhere because I can't really do that with live streams, I think. But it'll be in my videos, my latest video. My training score, 31.6. Gerben was in the Tuesday VO2. You were saying there was something like 30 in the 30s for his training score. It's quite good actually for me. It's been a long time since I've had such a high training score. It's been a long time since I've done my 640 SP per week though. It's a long time. It's Sunday, so I've got halfway. A lot of red though. Alright, I think that's everything I need to show you. So thanks for watching. If you're watching this on a replay, thanks for watching. I don't think anyone's watching at the moment because the football's on. If you're going to watch that, enjoy. I've got to go and see if Australia's playing or if Spiky Mikey's just playing tricks on me. Alright, peace out.